What's up, everybody? This is Soundbites here. So today I'm going to be sharing a life story about the time I met two serial killers. Not one, but two serial killers. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, stick to the end because this story is crazy. Let's jump straight into it. So this takes place back in 2017. So I was 17 years old at the time. And at this point in my life, I landed myself right in a juvenile facility. I know everybody else was probably getting ready, finish up high school, maybe move on to college. Instead, I was spending it in a fucking juvenile facility. Surrounded by shitty people. I was a shitty person myself, but pretty much landed myself in this really shitty situation. How many times can I say shit? So pretty much really shitty situation. I was meeting quite a bit of people in there. Obviously, I had nothing else to do but read and just fuck around. Pretty much just like work out and exercise and kind of contemplate my life. And pretty much came across these two nice gentlemen, and one of them was, his name, we're gonna call him D. All right, we're gonna call this guy D. The other guy, we're gonna call him A. So D and A, right? So this guy D, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, shake his hand. Pretty much quick backstory was I was running around a track, and I would do this every day because it was a way of like taking myself away from the shitty situation I was in. Just running and being in that runner's high was almost like being on drugs without actually doing any. So I was running all the fucking time because it would literally pull me from being in a shitty place. So I was doing that all the time, and these two guys come up to me and they start talking, mainly because his friend D would run the track with me. He would just like kind of run near me, and we would never talk, but he would always smile and wave, and he was always really friendly from what I could see. The other guy A, I didn't really know they were cool or they were acquainted, but the other guy A looked batshit crazy. Like he looked like he was fucked in the head. Like there was something seriously wrong there. And yeah, honestly though, the guy D scared me a lot more than A because D was super friendly, always smiling, waving, and the other guy A, at least you knew he was crazy, but D, like you could never tell. So pretty much we get to talking. They start asking me where I'm from. I start asking where they're from. You know, we're doing that whole back and forth thing. Where are you from? Where are you from? That kind of thing. And eventually they start telling me more about themselves, and we start hanging out more. We all start chilling, and pretty much these two guys, nobody was fucking with them. For whatever reason, nobody was fucking with them. And I was like, it'd probably be a good idea if I stuck with them. Because if no one's gonna fuck with them, then they're not gonna fuck with me. So pretty much I was hanging out with these dudes every day, and they started to share a little bit more information than they should have with me, right? Like they started really sharing like a whole bunch, going into detail about different things, and I'm sure you can kind of know what I'm getting at here. And pretty much there was some stuff in my area. There was some unsolved killings, all right? Like I lived in a very bad area. There was a huge problem with MS-13, and there was just a lot of shit going on, and they were finding bodies left and right, like everywhere. And in this particular case, there were two people that died like quite recently before I went to the facility, and they were both talking about that case, right? And they were going into detail about what happened, how it happened, and I'm not going to say whether they were directly involved or they weren't, but pretty much they were just going at it, just spewing a bunch of information at me. Like if I was a detective, these dudes would have already been gone. So pretty much they're just like spewing this information at me, and it was just gruesome information, like really disgusting stuff. Like not even just what happened with that particular killing, because that killing was actually really bad. Like it was a whole mix up like in the town, because pretty much they found like body parts in certain locations. So it was just like some Jeffrey Dahmer type shit. It was just gross. And pretty much I was like blown away by what I was hearing. And they were talking about more killings that they committed when they were in El Salvador, because they immigrated here. So they were talking about killings they did there, killings they did here, killings they did over there. They were just talking about all these things, and the whole time they were talking about all these killings, zero emotion, except for the guy D. D is smiling and he's joking about it. He's like, oh my god, I remember that one time we had to go bring this person out there, and then we got done with the job and we had to, you know, get rid of everything, and it was so hard because he was like, a body is so difficult to cut through. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I don't need to be hearing this. Like, you know, if I want to hear hear or see any of this, I can just go on fucking Reddit and type in eyeblech. Like, I was like, I don't need to hear about any of this. And I was like, this is disgusting. And pretty much I started to distance myself from them after they shared all that information with me, obviously. And yeah, pretty much started distancing myself. Eventually I got really lucky, like luck of God just fucking came right in, Godspeed. They took me out of there within like a month or two after all that shit got shared with me. I went right back home, same area where all these killings happened, and I didn't really believe them at first. I honestly thought they were bullshit, but then I thought they were real and I thought it was bullshit. Like, I just couldn't really tell. And then about, I'd say a year or two ago, I told my wife about what happened, and I told her about these guys, and she pretty much looked into it, and she winded up pulling up their names and their files, and they were actually tried, arrested, and deported back to Mexico for the crimes that I was literally told when I was in that juvenile facility. So the crimes that they confessed to me, they ended up getting caught for about a few years down the line. So it was fucking crazy. I never ever experienced anything like it in my life, and I hope to never fucking experience anything like that again, because these guys were just, they looked normal, but you cannot trust everybody. That's my life story. Like I said, if you guys liked the video, please like, comment, and please subscribe. All the support helps. Love you guys. Sound bites out. Peace.